Okay guys, so I wanted to make this video because, yeah, it's happening again. Google/YouTube is cracking down again. They are enforcing their community guidelines even stricter now, which, you know, if you already thought they were bad enough, congratulations, okay? They've put out 3 new, more vague rules that are pretty hard to understand. Doesn't really give much context into what situations this will be enforced in, or if there is any real, I guess, exceptions. So anyways, an announcement came out that they're enforcing even stricter guidelines. Now there's 3 new major rules that are coming into play here, or at least 3 big alters to rules that kind of were already in place, it seems. So we're gonna go through these, kind of hopefully, I guess, get an idea behind what they really do entail, and then kind of bring up exactly some of the situations in which this is going to be used unfairly, or there's too much gray area in, but you know, we already know that's going to happen with pretty much all of these. So through community feedback, we've identified areas where we can strengthen our enforcement and or clarify our policies to better protect the YouTube community from people who abuse the platform. Based on this, we're sharing reminders and ramping up enforcement across a few key areas outlined below. Find that a little bit ironic, considering that these rules don't actually give very many examples that aren't already blatantly obvious, but yeah, okay. Custom thumbnails. Reminder, all custom thumbnail images must follow our community guidelines. Selecting a thumbnail that egregiously violate policies, e.g. containing pornography or graphic violence, will now result in a community guidelines strike, even if the video does not violate our policies. Multiple strikes will result in the loss of your channel's custom thumbnail privileges, and 3 strikes in 90 days will result in account termination. This one seems the most ridiculous, okay? So I understand what they're trying to do here. You know that there's people who they clickbait their videos with, like, you know, women in bikinis or with like ass hanging out, things like that, and they're trying to cut back on that. They're trying to make sure people don't do that as much, and they're trying to make sure the channels that do use tactics like this to, I guess, incite people to click on the video end up getting something done to them. So, unfortunately, my problem here, especially with me running a gaming channel, okay, and me being able to understand this one a little bit more, okay, graphic violence, okay, what does this mean? There's no details as to what this means. Pornography is pretty easy to get because, obviously, anytime naked women, dudes, anything show up in the video's thumbnail, like, that's it right there. But graphic violence can mean anything, really, okay? If you run a gaming channel and you upload a Call of Duty thumbnail and it's just like a gun or someone being shot, is that considered graphic violence? Because, I mean, it's just a video game. But then also, like, there's a lot of science channels that make videos like, what if a meteor hit the Earth today? And it'll show, like, the Earth, and it'll show, like, a meteor coming at the Earth. Is that considered graphic violence? Like, you gotta strengthen the concept around graphic violence a little bit by giving us some details, you know? Like, you can't just be having the gaming community out here uploading thumbnails from video games that show, like, zombies, or show guns, or something, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they get 3 strikes and their channel's terminated because they uploaded a gaming thumbnail. You said that this is all about clarity and you're trying to clarify your policies, and then you give 2 examples, okay, with no background to what these can entail. And the dangerous thing about this is even if you just put like a Call of Duty thumbnail up on your video, if you get 3 strikes, you no longer have a YouTube channel. And YouTube doesn't clarify these things, so nobody knows the rules, okay? We all know the rules, but the rules aren't very clear, okay? We're basically just walking on ice, just hoping to God we don't fall. Literally, that can mean anything, okay? You have to clarify that. You can't just say, well, graphic violence, you know? Because anything that is even remotely violent, whether actually real or in a video game, anything. All it takes is for a machine or a robot to deem it graphic violence, and next thing you know, you're done. Next one, external links. Reminder, all external sites that you link to YouTube or from YouTube must follow our community guidelines. Adding links to external sites that egregiously violate our policies, pornography, malware, or spam will now result in a community guidelines strike. Receiving 3 strikes in 90 days will result in account termination. Once again, a little bit of a gray area. This one's a little bit more clear because honestly, it's pretty easy to understand. Like, you can't just be linking Pornhub in the comments and stuff like that, but what if you link somebody to something on Twitter, okay, and then somebody in response to that posts something that's got malware or has pornography or something in it? Because you know how people on Twitter are, you know how people on the internet are, they post random things, okay, they post things to troll one another, and it's something that you can't really control. So let's say you link something on Twitter, okay, and then in response, somebody posts something that violates this external link guideline. How are you supposed to, A, be able to handle that? Like, how are you supposed to be able to do anything about that? B, how are you supposed to even detect something like that is gonna happen, okay? Because, like, say you put this link up, like, on Friday, and then on Monday someone responds with it. all of a sudden the flag comes through, and all of a sudden, you didn't even know what happened. You couldn't do anything about it, okay? So how are you even going to determine when it happens? And how is a YouTube robot going to even determine whether or not something is pornography or malware? You know what I'm saying? How are they going to go off-site and determine that? At that point, it's almost like YouTube is policing the rest of the internet, okay? Which isn't right, obviously. I think we can all agree that if YouTube's bots are going through these links and they're scanning pretty much everything on that page, regardless if anyone flagged it or not, that is pretty unacceptable. I'm sorry. That's taken it a bit too far. And then on top of that, are there any other policies that can be violated by a link? You only list 3, but then, here in 5 months, someone's gonna do this, and then all of a sudden, some random new policy that nobody knew about is all of a sudden just gonna be there and getting them, Now, the next one I can understand a little bit more, okay? Dangerous challenges and pranks. Reminder, content that encourages violence or dangerous activities that may result in serious physical harm, distress, or death violates our harmful and dangerous policy. So we're clarifying what this means for dangerous challenges and pranks. YouTube is home to many beloved viral challenges and pranks, but we need to make sure what's funny doesn't cross the line into being harmful or dangerous. We've updated our external guidelines to make it clear that we prohibit challenges presenting a risk of serious danger or death, and pranks that make victims believe they're in serious physical danger or cause children to experience severe emotional distress. Now, I understand a lot of this, okay, because obviously you have situations like the whole Daddy05 scandal in which they were playing these pranks on their children, causing some severe distress. The children were screaming and crying in many of the videos. The kids were hurting one another. The dad even actually slammed one of his children into a bookshelf. That I can totally understand, but then you have videos on YouTube like, Deadly Twister on with iDubbbz, Max Mofo, all them, right, with Filthy Frank and everyone, where they're basically using like mouse traps, okay, they're using hot candle wax, everything else during this game of Twister to present something funny, but at the same time, yes, they're hurting themselves. But obviously everyone in the video is completely complacent and they've all agreed to do this. So nobody is being hurt without the consent of them, basically, okay? They've all agreed to do this, they've made a hilarious video, but yes, people do get a little bit hurt. A mousetrap doesn't feel the most pleasant. How are you going to enforce that kind of content? You know what I'm saying? This is content that everyone was okay with who made the video, and all of the fans are okay with, okay? It's not too bad. Like, nobody's like actually in real danger, when it goes too far they stop it, okay? But next thing you know, somebody flags this video down and then a YouTube classic has been completely taken off the internet. This is the kind of stuff I don't like to see, man, because I love videos like that, right? I love those, the gentleman's guide videos where they get hit with watermelons and stuff like that. But then next thing you know, after this video has been made 3-4 years ago, okay, now YouTube's gonna strengthen these guidelines, someone's gonna flag this video, or even worse, a robot's gonna flag videos, and the next thing you know, these videos are taken down. Even though everyone was completely fine, there was no real danger in it, and yeah, a little bit of harm was done, but it was a Jackass-esque skit. It was not that big of a deal. But then, of course, you do have the videos where people are, like running in people's room with fake guns and like pretending that they're gonna kill people and stuff. That goes a bit too far, and most of the time those pranks aren't even really funny. But what is a risk of serious danger or death, okay? Is somebody who's about to have a bucket of milk poured on their head a serious danger because the bucket could fall and hit them in the head? You have to define what these terms are that you're using, and that's the problem. Every time you strengthen your enforcement of these guidelines, you don't really give us very good examples of what isn't allowed. You give us these gray terms like extreme violence, graphic violence, pornography. You don't really dictate what these are considered on your platform, and then next thing you know, somebody puts out something very mild and then their whole channel's taken down because YouTube just doesn't ever clarify what their rules actually are. And I understand why you're doing it. You want to make your platform better. You want to make sure that things that are bad aren't going down on the platform. I completely understand that, and to a certain extent, I agree. Yes, you have to police the platform a little bit. But the whole point is if you're going to police your platform, and especially if you're going to police it so tough like YouTube does, and if you're going to enforce all these really harsh guidelines, you need to be doing a better job at actually determining what the problem is, laying out the rules, laying out the problems, that way people don't do them. Because next thing you know, you're going to have another Monkey Jones situation, okay, where even if it's manually reviewed and appealed and everything's fine, it gets monetized, 2 years down the road, okay, a robot's going to flag these videos, or someone at YouTube's going to flag these videos for review. Next thing you know, this strengthened enforcement, which isn't very clear and is just a big gray area, is going to end up ruining someone's career. You have to be doing a better job at actually determining the problem. And another big problem with this quote-unquote enforcement is that you're using bots that just aren't good at their job to enforce rules, okay? You're using these bots that flag content that doesn't even really violate guidelines for demonetization, etc. And then it takes way too long to appeal, and then a lot of the time when you do appeal it, YouTube or Google is of no help. The copyright system on YouTube's broken, the demonetization system's broken, the appeal systems are broken, it takes days for responses from YouTube, and the bots don't seem to be getting any better. They keep saying, like especially right here, they say they're trying to, enforce these guidelines and they're trying to flag content to make the bots better, but you've been quote-unquote flagging content to make the bots better for years, and they're not getting better. So when are we actually going to have bots that actually enforce the guidelines and don't actually just randomly strike things that don't need to be struck, okay? Google, YouTube, this is the problem that the community has with you. We don't have a problem with the fact that there's rules, okay? I don't care. I don't have a problem with not putting pornography in my content. I don't have an issue with that. I understand there's got to be rules, but I also understand that you need to stop being so vague. You need to do your job. And at this point here on YouTube, if you're a creator on this platform, pretty much any wrong step can result in a strike, regardless. And that's becoming a problem. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you're new around here on my channel, make sure to also follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. Also, make sure to join the Discord down below. Lots of cool things about to go down over there. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. If you'd like to become a member, you can do so with the join button down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, hoping the guidelines don't mean that he's gonna get destroyed randomly down the road, and signing out.